This is straight up blasphemous. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, has used AI to rewrite the book of Genesis. That is blasphemous. That shows you the religion of earthism, if you will, worshiping the creature more than a creator, as it says in Romans chapter 1. Let's take a look at this. They had the audacity to create this. Look what they say. Look at what it says. In the beginning, all animals were treated with respect. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Wow. According to PETA, which has given the Bible's book of Genesis a modern makeover using ChatGPT to send a can't be missed animal rights message filled with vegan teachings. They have written a vegan-friendly book of Genesis. And look at some of the stuff they've done. They say they want to create a new cruelty-free story of creation. Wow, I didn't know the Bible in the book of Genesis was full of cruelty. Why? Because God had to cover the sin of Adam and Eve by the sacrifice of the animals. But look at what they say about that. And they're trying to appeal to Zen. Look at this. Look what they're doing. They're trying to appeal to Generation Z, who's more animal rights activist. Look at that. Animals are referred to beings rather than beasts or creatures. Let me break it to you, PETA folks. Animals are not beings. Animals do not have a spirit. Animals do not go to heaven. When animals die, they die. Only people have a spirit, and people have a soul, and people have a body. See, these people love animals more than they do people. Like what happened with Michael Vick back in the day when he was arrested for dog fighting. People were more hurt by what was done to those dogs, which was cruel, which was horrible. But they made more of an outcry about what happened to those dogs than they do to all the young black children that are killed in the streets every day. They don't care about them. But they love animals more than they love people. That's why they want us to eat bugs. And plant fibers like hemp and bamboo are used in place of animal skins for clothing. Look at that. They're taking away the spiritual symbolism that was demonstrated when God sacrificed those animals to cover the sin of Adam and Eve. Look what they're trying to do. They're trying to minimize that. This is straight from the pit of hell. As no one with any fashion or moral sense will ever wear animal skins in the 21st century. See, they're minimizing that. They're diluting that. They're taking away from what the moral of the story is, what the truth of the story is. And among other things, in Genesis chapter 22, here, catch this one. Abraham travels to the land of Moriah and befriends a gentle lamb to show his reverence and respect for God's creation, rather than slaughtering a ram to demonstrate his faith. Much as human sacrifice, once a reality, is now outlawed all over the world. Wow. Look at what they just did. They took away the foreshadowing of the sacrifice that Jesus made for us on Calvary. That is what was being demonstrated when God told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. That was God saying, this is what's going to happen. My son will come into the world to die for the sins of the world, and I will raise him up on the third day. This was the foreshadowing. God gave him a ram in the bush to sacrifice in Isaac's place. That ram in the bush was a substitute. That lamb was a substitute. That was the Lamb of God that was being sacrificed. And yet they're covering it up by saying that animal cruelty, by saying that slaughtering a ram to demonstrate his faith is outlawed. That, man, this is so demonic. It's so demonic and sinister and subtle in what it's doing. The Bible has long been, look at this one. The Bible has long been used to justify all forms of oppression. So we've used ChatGPT to make it clear that a loving God would never endorse exploitation of or cruelty to animals. To them, loving means affirmation and acceptance of what they think. It's of what they think. That's their idea of a loving God. To them, they see things through the prism, through the lens of protecting animals. And so they don't see the sacrifice. They don't see that the animal, God, that in God's eyes, he created man in the image of God. To them, no, people are less than animals. People are less than animals, or people on the same level as animals in the eyes of PETA. And that's incorrect. But that's this worship of the animalistic kingdom, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the earth worship. That's what this is. This is earth worship. And they're going to use ChatGPT to rewrite the book of Genesis to justify their religion.